Welcome to Creative Writing Energy, conversations about craft, the writer's life, and alternative practices with Kim Peterson and Catherine Evans. Hi, Kath. How are you?
Good, thanks, Kim. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm digging a little cute little lights in the background there.
I know. Happy New Year.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year! Happy 2020 new decade. Exciting.
It is.
The end of a decade, and that is what we're going to discuss today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our creativity prompt for this week. You wanna do that?
Yes. Take a photo of something close up.
I wonder what that
would
be.
Well, it kind of goes with the decade because I think in the last decade, camera apps on phones and iPads and iPods have got so good.
Oh yeah.
That you can take macros, with your phone.
Remember the times where you just had to wing it and take the photos and you ran out of film and precious. Like I've only got like 3 left, and
you couldn't zoom very much. You only had like a tiny zoom on your camera unless you had different lenses and stuff. And you could hardly focus on anything up close because focal lengths weren't that good.
Yeah. You couldn't see the photos as soon as you took them.
No, you had to wait weeks.
It was always exciting, taking the film to get developed and then waiting and picking it up. And, I've got this like huge bag full of photos from my sort of teenage years,
Yep.
And just take photos of everything.
But you were limited too, like you had 24 in your camera or 36 and that was it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Unless, Whereas now you go out, well, I go out and I can shoot 100 digital photos without any trouble. And, oh, wow, what my younger self would have done with that.
I know, right? So, yeah. We should do
our card.
Our cards. So, should I go first?
Yes. Go
so I've shuffled, and this is for the new decade. So let's have a look. Oh, I like this. Surrender. Surrender, baby. I can release my need for control.
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny because
2020.
Hey?
2020, we're giving up control.
Yeah, and I was just reading a text online about 2020, and I think it might have been in the Lee Harris video as well.
The energy predictions one.
And it is very much sort of about surrendering to the new decade and your old patterns of thinking and new ways, and old ways and old relationships and sort of embracing new ways of thinking and being, because it's a big build up to the shift coming. It's kind of,
he was
exciting.
All about heart energy too, wasn't he? About leading with your heart, not your head.
Yeah, did you see the December December one? Yeah. So what do you got for us today?
Well, I've got the Soulful Woman, the new one for the new year.
What is it? I can't read that.
Oh, service as co-creation. My service, no matter how great or small, is a conscious act of co-creation with the world.
Nice.
What was yours?
Surrender. I can release my need to control.
They kind of go together, don't they?
They most certainly do. Co-creation. Nice. It's I was reading about 2020 being a lot to do with collaborating with
teams and individuals.
Yeah, but for the higher purpose, not raising your vibration and getting into that higher state of energy to bring, you know,
the spiritual up and the ego down. Yeah,
there's definitely been a shift going on, and I think it's kind of, you know, rolling around, and I think that, you know, a lot of the 2010s have been about laying the foundation, and because for me personally, the 2010s have been extremely transformational, you know, in so many ways. Just, you know, like very soul growing, and you know, I gave birth to two of my youngest children in the 2010s, and those two are yeah, they're quite different. I don't know. They're different little ones, and
old souls.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely came together to be together. You know, I just the way they interact, and the way they interact with the world and me, and you know, the way they think. They're quite remarkable little kids, you know, and they're very adaptable, and they're very self-sufficient, and they don't, what's that word? They're independent. They're very independent, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just so yeah. I mean, they came along, but you know, I started writing and got into my books and publishing, and but soulfully, you know, working through myself and coming into myself. I don't know, it probably has a lot to do with my age as well, you know, you kind of, and writing. I think writing is a very self-discovery exercise, and helps you discover who you are. And I met a lot of people. I met you, and I've met people that have really imprinted themselves on me, on my psyche and my soul. And it's yeah, the foundation's there for for 2020, for the 2020s, definitely. How about you?
Yeah, I think mine, yeah, if you compared my 2010s to a tarot card, it would be the Tower. Everything kind of fell down and fell apart and had to get rebuilt, I think. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I guess the 2000s.
It's just interesting he said that, the Tower.
Oh, that's how I think of it. Like the end of the 2000s broke me, I think. Everything kind of fell apart. I didn't really know who I was. I lost everything. And
I had that too.
Yeah. And I had to kind of rebuild and find stuff.
Was that like the mid decade for you, or early, late?
It started in 2003, and by the 2005 I was a wreck. I was in bed, unable to work, unable to kind of do anything.
Yeah, but we're doing like from 2010 up.
Oh, from 2010 up has been rebuilding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finding something new, like finding who I was, what I was going to do.
Yeah. It's kind of like a very soul journey. And, you know, mid 2010s, like 2015, my whole world crumbled as well. Like I sort of was faced with this crisis, and it provided the catalyst for change. You know, I mean, things happen, and we have a choice, and we can either, you know, the way we choose to think about it, and our decisions impact how our life kind of pans out, you know, we can always go in different directions. And I crumbled. I had this whole anxiety attack, and I was kind of left alone with the little kids. I had both the little ones, and my husband just took off overseas and one-way ticket, and it was just stress. And that was kind of what I don't know, that event just changed me. Like, I'd always thought about, you know, getting in, like, writing, because I don't, you know, it was there, but it kind of I just kind of thought, no, you know, I've got to do something for me. And it kind of was a springboard for me finding myself and doing what I loved, finding my purpose. And that's what 2020s are about. Lee Harris, I think, was talking about that. It's for souls with purpose, you know, it's finding a purpose, and those souls coming together to create and collaborate and for purpose, which is really exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anything else?
Well, I think my foundation was really slow to build. I think I've spent probably the last 10 years building it, you know, little by little, trying to do little bits, you know, like I got involved in romance writers, and I've just I don't know, I just don't jump into anything straight away. I just fiddle around and, you know, do little bits. And yeah, I think I've built up a little...
You could have process more or think on it more. What do you...
Yeah, well, I think I didn't used to trust myself, probably. So I wanted to, you know, I think when everything's broken down, you can't, you don't rebuild very quickly, or I don't. You know, I didn't trust where I was going. I didn't trust what I was doing.
It takes a while to go cultivate that, eh? And
yeah, and I've done a huge
wobbly on your path. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd gone from being all left focused to going completely right focused. So I went from science to creative writing, which, you know, and I didn't have any, you know, I had to unlearn all of science stuff, which is unemotional, and, you know, and relearn all the emotional, you know, because to go into romance, if you don't know your emotion, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You know? And pretty much I was, you know, I was writing dry stuff. And 2010, I went on a 5-day course with a mentor, and yeah, she made me tap into my emotion, which I hadn't done before. I think I was closed off pretty much. So yeah. So, and then I don't know, I think I'd lost faith in who I was too. So I did lots of helping out in RWA. You know, I helped on the newsletter, and then I helped at a conference, and then I was the editor of the newsletter. And so I think all those steps built up my confidence and built up my knowledge. And yeah, so I think I've slowly built up like a good base. And now, yeah, now I'm a bit ready to flap my wings and go somewhere.
Nice.
That's what I'm thinking for 2020s. I'm going to be soaring.
Yeah, I like it. Be the eagle. Be the eagle. Get out of the cave, bear.
Yeah.
Little bear.
Well, yeah. I've got I keep getting this card in my tarot deck, the Ace of Swords, and it's a bound eagle that's on a rope, on a pole, but the rope that's binding him is just fabric, you know. And so if an eagle's strong enough, they can just bust the ties and go.
Yeah, well, you know, eagles are, you know, a big symbolism of freedom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so
courage.
That's my 2020.
Freedom and courage. We like it, don't we? But yeah, it's been a very you know, trials and tribulations kind of through that 2010s.
Yeah.
And you can I've been feeling it build and working through a lot of inner places. I've definitely gone dark and had to work my way through some really, you know, high level darkness, if that makes sense, but in a very like I've been kind of stripped bare in, you know, more times than once, and every time, you know, these kind of things happen, it's always, yeah, to help you grow. And the way you come out the other end is you know, you have the choice, like I said, whether you're gonna stay or you're gonna sort of shed what you don't need anymore, or what's not serving you, or just to become a better person and get together with those you know, you were talking on Friday night about how the 2020s were strong for souls coming together for collaboration for the higher good of the world, weren't you, before we went to drumming?
Yeah, that was that Lee Harris 2020 prediction energy video.
Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. So
I hope so. I hope. It seems like it, like within the world, there seems like you know, like things are breaking down, you know, things are changing, you know, like the climate change debate, the patriarchy, you know, women and LGBT rights, as you said.
There's a lot of issues coming to the surface, and people are less kind of hiding from, or keeping below the radar. You know, people are owning more who they are, and they're proud of that, and they should be. You know,
and minority groups, I think, are starting to get a voice, and like young people coming up are quite vocal, and they're very open-minded, and you know, I think that's amazing, and God, I hope it continues.
It will definitely. We just got to get rid of all the assholes that are in power, that just don't have the ability to raise their, or to open their mind for the greater good of humanity. They're more self-serving, and you know, I think
they're in a power kick rather for themselves, not for the greater good.
Yeah. And I'm always trying to sort of get those guns in the sky. You know what I mean? War.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I think if we can, you know, if 2020 can be something where, you know, people are looking at kindness and being nice to other people, not just looking at themselves. I mean, imagine what a decade could do if people turned around and started to think about others and not themselves. God, the world could be beautiful.
Definitely. And it all just starts, you know, within each of us at a time. Okay.
Service, no matter how small or great.
Service. What does it say? Service for Christ.
My service, no matter how great or small, is a conscious act of co-creation with the world.
Nice.
So that's it. If you change how you behave, you can affect the world, can't you?
Definitely. And surrendering to control. I can release my need to control.
And that's surrendering the ego, isn't it? Giving up the self for the greater good.
Yeah, I think it's surrendering for a lot of things. You know, ego definitely facing what we feel like we're fearing, or, you know, it's kind of surrendering to that. Yeah. And new decade. Happy New Year, folks.
Yeah. And our Next year, we're hoping creative writing grows, aren't we?
So what?
Next year, we're hoping to grow creative writing energy.
Yes, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, this year. I think this will be, which is, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 2020. We're growing.
And you're freezing right now. Oh. Okay. Do you want to end of the year freezes? Do you want?
Know what it is? It's all those tourists coming to town, using up the bandwidth.
It's crazy. I had to go to the mall yesterday and do shopping. Oh, and you know what happened? I was like, I've got to go again tomorrow. Just one more time. I know, because it's like the last day of school. I have to, otherwise, you know. But I was in a store, and I'd worn these kind of they were thongs, but thongs for your feet, people, and they were good ones. Like, I think that, you know, had like leather straps. But the thing is, I'd had them for years. I've had them for years, and I hardly wore them because they kind of elevate at the end. So I didn't really wear them anyway. I wore them yesterday, right? I'm in a store looking around, and then one of them broke, and I just.
Oh no!
I know, and I'm like, the store lady is right there. I'm like, oh shit. My shoe broke.
Did you buy new shoes in the store, or was it?
Luckily, I was in a store that I was in Cotton On, so I was looking for something for Jordan. But they sold shoes, so I bought a new pair. She's like, and she's standing there. She's like, "Well, aren't you fortunate? Our shoes are on special right now." I'm like, "Yeah."
Own it.
Work in the right place. Yep. Yeah. So that was my mall experience yesterday. I bought the shoes and then I got out of there.
So no present for Jordan?
No, I got the present too, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so one more shopping, and it will be a quick session because I know what I need. And
that's good.
Get in, get out, get home. Done.
That's what you need this time of year.
Yeah, but you know, Christmas will be all over and done with by the time this is released. This one. So yeah, we'll be into the new year, 2020.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah. So we're gonna kind of we've got some plans to try to ramp up this little podcast that we're doing, so stay tuned.
You won't believe us next year.
Do you want to tell everyone where they can find us? And
yes, thanks for joining in our conversation, and we hope to see more of you in 2020. So if you'd like to subscribe to Creative Writing Energy, you can click on the subscribe button on your preferred podcast platform or on YouTube, and then you'll be notified when our episodes are available. We also have a Patreon page. For as little as $1 a month, you can support us and gain bonus content, and that's at patreon.com/creative writing energy. And you can find us at whisperinginkpress.com/creative writing energy. And don't forget our mastermind class. If you'd like to sign up for that, you can find out about that on whisperinginkpress.com. Go to the Creative Writing Energy Mastermind or under the 4 Authors tab. And don't forget, we've got the special on that for January. So if you'd like to join us and work on your writing and your spiritual growth in 2020, you'll be in just the right place.
Surrender.
And service as
to us.
That's it. Co-create with us.
Yeah, surrender and co-create with us.
Yeah.
Come fly with us. Okay.
We're safe, friendly, and not quite sane.
No, but I did put away my my puppets.
All right. Okay. Well, happy 2020.
Yeah, happy 2020. Happy new decade. Love you guys. Bye.
See ya. Bye.